I'd like to be an artist, but I'm not an artist. I'm a philosopher.
Yeah!
Philosophers talk about things that don't exist. So today I've decided to analyze some works of art that don't exist, courtesy of thisartworkdoesnotexist.com. You may or may not recall how a couple years before the disaster, colloquially known as the year 2020, this portrait, created by a type of artificial intelligence called a generative adversarial network, or GAN, sold for over $400,000 at an auction. Instead of a standard signature, it bears the loss function used by that GAN, which I think is an odd choice, as it really represents a technique used by the GAN as a whole, as opposed to the GAN itself. Like if Georges Seurat signed his work Pointillism, or the film Annihilation was written and produced by Vocal Fry.
Our bodies and our minds will be fragmented into their smallest parts.
In any case, a newer GAN is responsible, with the guidance of its creators of course, for these artworks that don't exist. What is a GAN anyway? Let's see if this link can help us.
So basically what happens is the feature maps, they're normalized with the mean and variance parameters of the feature maps, whether this is a channel-wise thing or a feature map thing, and then they're also scaled by using the
I think I'd prefer a gentle introduction. A GAN is a mimic. Based on a set of inputs, it tries to create an output that is unique, but would fit in seamlessly with those inputs. So the faces created by the flagship GAN thispersondoesnotexist.com are great bot fodder. They may or may not be selfie-esque enough for Tinder, but they would make fine Facebook profile pictures, because they look like, normal people. Confirming that the images are unique, while predictable, is still a little eerie. How does a GAN create such remarkably unremarkable specimens? The adversarial in GAN denotes an epic battle between two complex and self-modifying algorithms, a generator and a discriminator. The generator tries to create images that imitate those in the database that it's given, and the discriminator, given either an image taken from that original database or created by the generator, tries to guess whether the image is real or fake, whether it's from the database or from the generator. As its guesses are corrected by the programmers, the discriminator starts to learn what differentiates a real image from a fake one. And meanwhile, based on the discriminator's guesses, the generator starts to learn what makes a convincing image. So as the generator and the discriminator continue to duel, trying to outsmart each other, you can watch the generator's images becoming more realistic over the course of minutes, hours, and days. You can train a GAN on any set of images, hence, this cat does not exist, this chair does not exist, this horse does... What the hell is that? The thing about these is that when they go wrong, they go very wrong. And like a nightmare, they vanish into the ether once you've experienced them, so you can't quite convey the horror to other people. Programs like these raise some interesting questions. Example, what are these people doing selling prints of AI-generated work for $200 a piece when, as far as I can tell, they had nothing to do with the creation of the original algorithm? Is it somehow less bad than if they'd stolen work directly made by a human? One thing I noticed about this website is that the titles they gave the artworks are a little dull, which never happens with regular art. I want to breathe some life into these allegedly unreal
Wow, that's transparent
pieces by giving them titles based on what I think they could mean. They need a human touch. Like me. I'm lonely.
Let's get this mother crock!
Okay, here's the first one. Take a second to look at it. Pause the video if you want to. What do you see here? I encourage you to actually try, though it's okay if your answer is nothing or I don't care. I've unofficially dubbed this When It Gets You, because I see a person looking at a wall of content, maybe artwork, and one of the things they're seeing is literally popping out at them. It even has the same colors as them, the orange, the brighter yellow, the blue stripes. I see this as representing how it feels to connect with a piece of art. Ow! Here's the next one. What do you see in this? Because I see central Wisconsin. That's why I'm calling this one a satellite view of central Wisconsin. Look, there's disco. And here's the next one. What do you think the first thing I saw in this was? Snow, maybe? Glass of some kind? Incorrect. I was reminded of my Oculus Quest 2 handset. That's right, kids. This is art. Can we talk about how stupid Beat Saber makes everyone look? In all seriousness, or at least in partial seriousness, I think the algorithm plays with space in interesting ways here. I like how the Oculus loop pops out, and it reminds me of the awe-inspiringly depth-ridden experience of playing in VR. I'm calling this cusp because I think its mix of 2D-ness and 3D-ness illustrates how technology is always in a transitional state. Also, I don't know, the shape just makes me think of the word cusp for some reason. It's like a cross between a cup and a cuff. Art. This one's This one's called Tide Pod. Just kidding. Or not. Art is subjective. Let's look together with our eyes. This one's about pregnancy.
What the hell are you talking about?
Hear me out. This was my thought process. We've got this burgeoning mass here and this very striking blue, wholly distinct from the rest of the piece, kind of dragging everything down. That contrast might describe the unique excitement and trepidation of creating a new person. I am in no way entitled to comment on what it's like to be pregnant, but I'm going to do it anyway. This feather-ish mass here could contrast with the literal and emotional weight of being with child. The title I settled on was The Promise of Lightness. It feels oddly transgressive to assign titles and meanings to these artworks that don't exist. It gives me a weird and undeserved sense of ownership over them, since, unlike a piece with a direct human creator, I am the first to interpret these. Maybe it's the same kind of ownership those people felt when they thought it was okay to sell artwork from thispersondoesnotexist.com, since they curated them, adding the first glimmer of direct conscious influence to those pieces. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this at least marginally entertaining or informative, but if you didn't,
Then leave.
bye!